Hey everybody, Professor D here. Just finishing up dinner and grading at the kitchen table. Probably what many of you are also doing too, because we're just busy working educators who want to do the best for our kids. So I really enjoyed getting through all of your posts and flip grids last week, and you should have received Module 1 feedback from me as you're finishing up Module 2, and now that those are submitted, I'll go back and give you feedback for Module 2 while you're working on 3, if that feedback cycle makes sense. I'm also including a link to some additional directions on Flipgrid, Padlet, and where to get feedback and comments and how the course will work in that way, since it's asynchronous, as few folks may not have done asynchronous before or in a while and have questions about how kind of all those pieces fit together. I also sent out a link for a optional Zoom on Friday that I'd love for any of you to attend. What I notice when I teach this course, and I've taught it a lot, is that it's not a methods course. So a lot of times people come and they expect, like, how do I teach this the right way? Or how do I say things about racism, sexism, ableism, linguistic privilege the right way? The course isn't really about that as in terms of methods. A lot of your content area, elementary and secondary, will address methods, and hopefully they will address methods that are culturally responsive, anti-racist, and pedagogically inclusive. However, if not, that would be part of your push as a teacher to kind of seek those resources out. In this course, I will show you where to look for those things, how to create those networks and find like-minded folks in your teaching environments. But because we're covering so much material and it's more of a survey of issues in education related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, I can't show methods for everything, but I will use lots of curricular examples. And I use social media a lot as an entryway to talk about things, right? So you will relate to the social media pieces much more easily than if I were to give you an academic article. And I want you to think pedagogically about how you may use credible, reliable sources in social media to also prompt conversations and look for teaching inspiration and guidelines there. So you'll see kind of those things coming through from me. The optional Zooms also will be an opportunity for us to talk as a community about what we see that's working, or maybe what's not working, similar to what you did in your internship seminar, but with a real specific focus on DEI. For the folks who had me for discourse, who had me for the kind of SEL, responsive classroom, I'll weave together a lot of the argument that good community building in your classroom is what sets the tone for being able to know your students so that you can pick responsive materials and make sure they're represented in the curriculum, but also in being able to talk about and explore and inquire about maybe, depending on your content area, difficult things or things in a critical way or in a way that provides for multiple perspective taking. Feel like I'm filling up way too much of your time here, but I just wanted to kind of hit a few of those kind of issues and points that come up that I wish I could speak to you about in real time, but asynchronous doesn't allow for you to know kind of what I'm thinking about in response to what you're thinking about. So even if there is an opportunity to meet that works, a different time for you, and you can't do those that I post every few weeks for Zoom, those optional Zooms, and you'd like to meet at a different time individually, or you have a group of you that would like to get together, just let me know, and we can connect and make sure that you're getting everything you need. So in the course, we're critically thinking about the history of education, identity and culture building, and the phenomenon of identity and culture building from sort of a social science approach, and how that feeds into the way education and curriculum are conceptualized and what good teaching means. So there's some philosophy there too. But then we'll have an opportunity to talk on the side, and I'll try to thread in curricular examples and resources so you have those in your toolkit. If there's anything I can do for you, please reach out, and I hope everyone's staying warm, taking care of themselves, and getting rest during this very challenging time in the year. We'll see everyone soon on Friday, hopefully. Have a good night.